Abladia bi wananye eko meneju biniji nyomai enyo ke enyo otukwajanyo ye afi akpe enyo nyomai enyo ke ekpamli na shemo ni shanene wobwana woke bahani shemo ne keji oti Facebook ke YouTube wanya kwa ye Mbn 360 inaja modote shidana obabote sajamli ye ha wokwa oti ye ni ye shemo ekome
Menfio aku alo minority ewie ake amebasa mamuntaka Mubarak kenko sedina atu nusani keheni eyobi amehi. Ye shika keja yili sajamlie AGI nuchumoku eni wujarai anga na meko shifimo ake daleke janotu. Niye manse sajamli nwe Namibia maye nyelo ebi ake meniji yeli nyamo keji mekoko mekaye bi alo me chomode megbomo mi.
Sanje enemeke ekokome aheji no nyabanu yeshani Adafitwaa Agbene sanje di enchemi botimone. Menfio aku ni omlawope ye alo minority ewie ake amebeno ko femo biane ake beja amesama mansolo ni kwa manyebu sajin anonya momuntaka Mubarak kebashia keji amralo enye eha mele no poteni yano ye chuchu maslok nuchu moche nupa sedina ationu tamaklo saniemli.
Uwe manomi ake amemintao amele no poteni yano kenko ise hunhi kebagana ke ekpabo lo mo higbejano biane kenye afi nyoma monwu ni Accra High Court ke fon inose ye ike Adafitwaa ariemomlie lawo pe henyo ke ha ifia oshikifon akuchon Isaac Boamanya kurie ake sani mlawo pe ye akwe na konta abu ke pepepe fimo afe oti ye sane yeliemli Menfio akuweke keji ango amenibi moe ano amebacho momlawo pe ye egbejano to short to ano ni ekoji mansolo ni kwa mahibuloi asanji ano samamo kebashia ni ebaje sanjin ana.
Let's call on good governance and accountability on the part of government. If government fails to provide that as we have requested, we will use all the available tools available to us in Parliament to make those inquiries so that the Minister for Interior may be asked those questions to come and provide details to us. But we don't need to trigger that option since government has to be accountable to its people. This is a matter of national interest. People have been in waiting. We all follow through the extradition processes and even the information that she's coming to the jurisdiction. And so it is incumbent on government to have provided information as to at what time did she arrive in Ghana, who was she handed over to, if she is in prison custody, which prison custody is she in, and fair details as to whether she is given or she's going to serve the full term. If this information is not provided, then you give room for people to question her whereabouts, and that is exactly what we are trying to ask.
Mlawo pe henyo ke hagaru osikifon akucho Thomas anaba ewie ake Mahama manoyelie engmengi modembo ke bakwe ni chuchu maslok chuchu moche nupa sadina ationu tamaklo ayasomo ye kpabumi ehi.
Eke na nifa kadio amralo ehishifon kebawo nomo kenshiju kefon sajamli yewale ni esa ikwe ake abato jalegbe pepepe ichomling ake sani akonta abu afe amralo ehishikwe oti nije noko ni abangme noko hi keji ebalem lagbejano to ye kojomo here.
She's in the country. So there's no problem about asking where Sedinam is. If they want to know where it is, it's very easy. They can file a question on the floor of Parliament once we are in Parliament and summon the minister to come to the floor of Parliament and provide the answers to those questions. I think the Attorney General is available. The security agencies who are handling him are there. So the way they can come around to the various detention places or go to a house to see whether she's there or not. And the government has a very good track record in dealing with alleged corrupt persons in this government, and Mahama in particular. Remember Abuga Pele was sent to court by the same appointor. So Sedinam is going to follow suit. If he's able to appeal or do what we are hearing and exonerate herself, fine. If he cannot, she goes to serve. She
has plans to appeal.
That is what the same minority are telling you. she's appealing everybody in this country. I said that, look, let's leave people who have indulged in criminal acts after being appointed to face the laws of this country. Let's stay away and allow the judicial system, the Attorney General, and the prosecutors to deal with the case. She has been convicted. They say she's under custody. Whether she's at someone or she's in the house, it depends on what he has told the government or told the security agencies, and they have allowed him to go to wherever they have put him. We don't have authority over that.
Yagaru Oshikifon Akuchuemi no Jamemla wope henwe anunyamo Thomas Anaba Mimbo Amralo Foi Akoko ni amekpa sui kome to jiemo keji Amralo Momuko ni heyoju kefon sajin amli bona fe ni enye ewo Ghana modembo kenshiju kefon sajin yewale.
Ekeriamo ine shridran kenye mienfio akuwe ni femoi kenko ashante kpukpa no seno taloke ha NPP masajanata omoku Bernard entry boy si aku na lelejugbang ake chairman wuntumi momo ni Economic and Organized Crime Office lo iyoko molese. Echomling ake chairman wuntumi nyanshinumo ni eke bote faikpamo alo plea bargain ni echon ake eyofo ninuhiwon Amralo Foi aje amehi kejemni nimla anahigbe achoni chubang eje nakpo ye Mbn Adafitwaa Ii ariomomli.
Let's allow the judiciary to handle the issues as the judiciary and withdraw any support for anybody, this political support for anybody who has been alleged or to have committed a crime. In that way, we'll get people stay away from corruption. You saw what happened under Wuntumi. The minority leader went to sit on the floor to protest for the arrest of Wuntumi. At the end, what is Wuntumi doing? Pleading, but plea bargaining. What does it mean? He's accepted guilt in the first place, and he's asking for a softer sentencing or a softer conviction.
Shimla wope here wako here ba chon he wale pakpana mo saji. Panso manuchu mo he ni ko he wale pakpana mo saji. Anomi cha solimo ilo asafui. Ni ameke sickle cell hilahi chosebo afata amenga woi ahi bona fe ni ebuhi keyi asusumo yegblashin lemli bote moyi tuhi.
Yariamomli Kefata 3rd Annual International Sickle Cell Center Conference here. Hafiz Adam Taheri Ake Sani Premarital Counseling Alo Blanching Lemninga wo aya ihe fe Blanching le kudomo ni ake hiwale pakpana monga wo oti tamo sickle cell status loli afatahi esa iri ake eba ake amralwe ankroni chumo ke civil society bana shramo ke wona kun yemo lo no kwemo ke shiherimo ye sickle cell hilamni hiwale yigana ne.
I remember I was talking about counseling before, and I alluded to the fact that I think the faith-based organization to have in terms of counseling, premarital counseling, that does not concentrate on faithfulness. I should also have a look at the health aspect, counseling to guide them to check out somebody, just in case situation activity, so that any don't even marry to use baby sickness. So these are all preventive measures, and we put the faith-based organizations and encourage them at their sermons. They should be talking about it. Premarital counseling, they should be talking about it. I even mentioned Islamic religion that does not look at the aspect of health counseling.
Yeah, he wale pakpana mo sajamni no. Director General Keha Ghana Health Service GHS Samuel Kaba Akoria ke fight aju ye Salaga Municipal Hospital near Savannah Kpukpa no say.
I want to express my sincere gratitude to you for expressing exactly how you feel. And the reason we are here is to assure you that we are with you and that let's all come together so that we follow the due process. As I said before, a committee has already been put in place as independent as possible. If there is the need to open it up for more participation, that will be done. But we are working together with the security And for sure, what is not advisable is for you to take the rules and regulations of the nation into your hands. If we lose more people, it's not going to justify any cost. If we lose people, if our health workers abandon the facility and people die, and we even find a baby, we cannot also bring back those lives. So please, we stand together, the health minister, the director general, the entire service, and the people of Ghana. They are all listening to you, and we are all doing all the best in place to make sure that things are done appropriately and should not repeat anymore. So on behalf of all the health staff, I want to say that we understand you and we'll do all our best. And be assured as well that when we identify the loopholes, they will all be closed and nobody will go scot-free.
Keje wale kpakpana mosaji amle wakawaye ba chon gbefa saji amle. Ghana amralwe ke Danish amralwe echaya kefe ekome ke babu Christian Borg Castle ake blema saramohe oti ye transatlantic slave trade.
Mansolo ni kwa ogbefa ke manse sajin ano anunyamo Samuel Kujeto ablakwa chomli ake ye eke Danish mlinda lo yemo mliye efe fang ake ameba bomoden kebuhe oti ne ahi keshinibi ni baji lo bachaki anokwale keni ni ko oblema sajin ahi ye jeme efe le fang ake castle ni damoshike ha adesign adegme gbomokai monwe ababuhe ke fata modembo ke bachi anokwale yemo ni kasemo keblema akonta abu yise ni femo na mimbi ni kasole akanyi adamoshike ha eko bandon ni standing post for never again kewo majin short we aishi formally hiwale kekai ni ata ojalese.
Then we have also heard from the foreign minister of Denmark, and you know where we are, the Osu Castle was built by the Danes. The foreign minister of Denmark announced during this conference that the Danish government has decided to work with all of us in our coalition, the government of Ghana, to preserve this castle and all the castles that they built during that dark period, to help to memorialize, to ensure that there is truth-telling and to guarantee non-repetition.
Yagbefa sajamli no Mansolo ni kwa ogbefa ke manse sajin ano anunyamo Samuel Kujeto ablakwa kefodra no ya ni femoi oti ye Ghana samo modembomli ake ni Dutch ke German majiamli onupai ebagbi gbamo ake blema ni bife ni amebalo kete amebakuse amekebahiwo.
Echomling ake Dutch amalwe ewo Ghana toino ake amebua ni amemisa amehi kekuse ameke artifacts bafe akpe enyo abaha ni bekpamoji ake ameke babaha mahiye nyelo John Dramani Mahama. Isa ejielego ake German amralwe hu eyose artifacts kume nije Kpando traditional area na amefe kralo ake ameke baba kefata riemo inimi yanubi anehi na nefane fata modembo kebahe nibi fem ni amekolokete bemli ni colonial era lo men dijin ano yelie yano kewo ble majalemni hiwale kebu kusumi ahihu.
At this conference, we received great news from the Dutch government that they have catalogued 2,000 artifacts that they have decided to return to the motherland. And they carried out a symbolic presentation last night to President John Dramani Mahama. So this outcome document has attachments. The first attachment is a catalogue of 2,000 artifacts from the Dutch government. The second attachment is a declaration by the government of Germany to also return artifacts that they have identified and are willing to return to the motherland. So that is our second attachment to this outcome document.
Chawo jejeme wako wahi bachon Sorahi Wale. Deputy ranking member Yemla Wopie Sorahi Wale Kumli Collins Adoma Kumensa Minche Kehani Fanfe Momu Ajema Someone Chumoye Niko Sorahi Wale Node Aba Bimlini Ewonga Ake ni amling Belemoy Feni Ana ye Gridco substation ni Shaye Akosomwemling Aba Fondran.
I led the press conference myself and I indicated that we do not believe that what happened was a sabotage. Indeed, I heard key senior members of the NDs of this government accusing ECG officials of sabotaging the system in the Ashanti region. If no less a person that the chairman of the NDC in the Ashanti region made this point, that what is happening in the Ashanti region is as a result of people sabotaging the system. The energy minister went ahead to do some reshuffling, movement of some managers from one region to the other. It's become clear based on the report that what happened has nothing to do with sabotage. Nobody is sabotaging the system. And I'm just hoping that they'll be transparent enough to make the report available to everybody. This is about the third time they've instituted a committee to bring out a report which has not been made public.
Yes, Sajin Koko May here. Mlawo pe henyo ke ha so latuna kaba Andrew Dari Chiwite Kefon Ghana Education Trust Fund Alo Get Fund here ni ameba wa kesa school chui ni yemi bata ye ekuchowemi.
I am sure with time Get Fund will turn their attention to my side so that we are able to fix the schools. In fact, it's pathetic. As it has started raining, most of the schools are closed. Aside from that, there are some of the schools that cross streams. The kids that cross streams to attend school, now all these streams are flooded. Such communities, their kids cannot access school again. You go to Bilpie, their kids attend school in Goyiri. So now that it has started raining, many of them cannot cross. Now, they expect that we should build a bridge across that stream. But as an MP, how much? I just told you my common fund. Can that build just even a culvert? You can do it. I just want to assure the people that we are doing our bit to ensure that our school kids are comfortable in schools. We would do our possible best.
Wabada mashia moneno ni wafuwe ke wakuwose wake shika ke jaili sanje baba hanye. Kachioi.
Invitiasia no menene kunu eware wo odro ene asumdwe kwan so ya wore na chi no mene kwacho ba hotel pop pebi say be sepeyo. What a team from so crown na maye
bibia wo nyankopon sem
ekoba ne san me kunu antena se
edro botum wajo eye edek sm bitches
wa energy befi we na me de yem bible edek sm bitches timasema mame
so wa worry mu enije bewie wo paya na ye kamfo edek sm bitches mrs wo oyem ye onyina monome no okọ one
Shida plejo no ake okoyobe Mbn Adafitwaa no no kabaji shishi kegbi na yeshika ke joyeli sanjiam nie Association of Ghana Industries DG AGI minwo jarai angani amekpa shifimo na ake noko keke shimo amena shifimo ake dalegbejano to short iko.
Yeriamomli kefata ni femo niji mama hekpamo keha Sustainable African Value Chain Initiative here onupani kwa AGI farm no Dr. Kofi Nsiapoku Fejerai Amli kebolio Jane Chakimo nibi moife.
World is changing, as you have all heard about climate change. Ghana also is part of the climate change, and we need to prepare. And especially the industries, now you have to do environmental, social, and governance compliance. So this relationship is going to help member companies to bring themselves up to ensure that environmentally, socially, and in governance-wise, they are really compliant. Now, if you want to even export a product abroad, sometimes they want to make sure, are you falling trees to create energy? Are you creating something?
Obafo ishkumeko nke wokuwose wako hie bacho manse kunwa kono niti no huye jame.
Mbn Jasuni from Ejahima Sawupa Sawuba Mbn Jasua from 0245 88 2128 Mbn Jasu coming home na yendi eja at the right place.
Noni wakabaji nshi kegbina yewonagbi shemoni ji manse sajinye mahenye loke ha Namibia Dr. Netumbo Mbn Adafitwaa Ii mochi mokofojang bimli Next Steps Consultative Conference ya UN Slavery Resolution yano kenkoble manibi oti ahe.
Erie ake Africa sane eje shishi keje Caribbean shimo keje gbajano to itamo 1661 slave code ni pata Africa bi ahie kra echomling ake blema sane na hie chimo short iko nesa ake angoyi alo hie akpanokra ake ni ikai ejajebi anetotomoy keno ya lo hie ya na gba ike bolioma. Dr. Mbn Adafitwaa sa ibiake many potenji noni Adamo keji hetre ye yelimlim bemli ni me baba o kai mimpi ni ewonga ake hie achon no ya jalemono.
I've been to the Cape Coast Castle, but nothing prepared me for this afternoon. I do not in any way understate the poignancy and the emotion that was stirred in my spirit from the reenactment here at this castle. The truth is that it is one thing to speak of it. It is one thing to read it. But the manner in which the students of the Ghana Performing Arts School reenacted both the arrival, the detention, and then the passage through the door of no return will remain singular in my memory for what we experienced. It is almost impossible for me to congratulate them, because the devastation of what they reenacted does not sit well with any form of congratulatory language. But we recognize that when they told us that a picture speaks 1,000 words, there is nothing like being a witness to the bald reality of the oppression that we saw. My friends, today we also heard from other persons, and we know clearly that our story did not start in the Caribbean. Just as you heard just now from Mr. Evans, his didn't start in the United States of America. We know this deeply because in our own colonial legislature, as I've indicated to you, we became the place where the first legislation was passed that proclaimed that black persons were no longer human, that they were subhuman. It was the 1661 Slave Code, a law that gave help to a legal machinery that would literally cement in the minds of millions of people for centuries the degradation, suffering. When we continue to face development deficits that so could be changed if we had a different understanding and if we did not. Our actions demand law, economics, education, culture, diplomacy and development moving together. But as I said yesterday, it must not be the province of just those of us in government or those of us in academia or those of us in some civil society groups. We must place our people at the center of this conversation. And our people must understand that we seek not to create wounds that will be divisive, but we seek in the mission that so many others have done before us to seek healing and reconciliation. Much of the Western world admires Nelson Mandela. They hail him as one of the greatest human beings to have lived in the 20th century. They speak of his resilience. We ask them to speak of his example of truth and reconciliation as well